Does that mean you can hear me, Liz?
I can. I'm just working on getting us up
Oh, cool.
on our website.
Perfect.
What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to allow you to turn on your video, and then I'm going to turn the video permission back off.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and start yours. All right. And then as long as you don't turn yours off. Oh, shoot. No, that does it to you. Never mind. I guess this is going to be tricky.
Does that mean you can hear me, Liz?
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. I'm just working on getting us up. Oh, cool.
All right, we are getting ready to start our live stream with our artist, Jamie Hahn. And we're admitting a guest into the room with us. Jamie, can you hear me okay? All right.
Yes, Liz. Hi. Okay, now I can see myself. I did not know what was going on. Yes, hello, I'm here.
All right. So we have a guest in here as well. So it looks like Shelly is watching. So Jamie today is our virtual artist all the way from the East Coast. And she's going to be doing upcycled multimedia projects for us for the next hour. So Jamie,
yes, indeed.
Give us a little intro on yourself. We do have your link and your store and your demo sheet on our website at fishersartscouncil.org/shopfishers. But go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am actually from the Fishers and Noblesville area. Just recently, within the last 6 months, moved down to Rock Hill, South Carolina. So I'm coming to you from there. And yeah, like Les said, I do a lot of upcycling and multimedia art. I'm huge on using secondhand materials. That way we're not using, raw materials that when you go out and buy them, they have all this packaging and such. So I like to get my materials from thrift stores, garage sales, secondhand, things that are sitting around the house that I haven't used for years. I just like to look at things in a different way and try to use them and make something new out of them. So I will go ahead and get started if that is all right with everybody. So today I'm going to be making an upcycled butterfly wall art, as well as a little bumblebee magnet out of all secondhand materials. So first off, I want to show you these. These are the little butterflies I'm going to be working with. So this is, I actually cut it up already. But this is one of those borders that teachers can use around like their bulletin boards. And the butterflies actually pop out, if you can see that. And they're just adorable. So I've got all sorts of strips of these, and I picked out a couple of my favorites. So I already cut these out. I know they look kind of funky right now, but I'm going to cut them out with an X-Acto knife, and then I'm going to actually mount them to a secondhand tile. And then the tile will go on to, this is just a scrap piece of plywood that I had sitting around. So that's what we're gonna do there. So we'll go ahead and just get started on this. So what I wanna do first is I'm gonna paint this wood. Typically I will stain, like use a dark wood or a dark walnut stain, just like this. But today I think I'm going to paint it just with an acrylic black paint. That way it kind of pulls from some of the black that's in the butterfly art. And I don't know if Les is checking the chat and to let me know if anybody has any questions, but I can keep an eye on that as well.
At the moment, we don't have any, but Shelly is joining, and we are streaming on YouTube as well. So anyone that's watching us on YouTube can come over to fishersartscouncil.org/shopfishers and join us directly in the Zoom to chat with Jamie.
Perfect. So yep, like I said, I am just putting on a layer of acrylic paint. I really like using acrylic paint. It's a craft paint, if you will. And again, I got this at Goodwill years ago. I really like to use even any of my supplies that I get. I like to get secondhand, which can actually make things kind of challenging for me because I'm very stubborn in that regard. So say I needed a light blue paint or something, I would make sure that I go to probably 10 different thrift stores before I buy new. But that keeps things very just fresh and new, and it's more of a challenge. And I don't know, I really like it that way. I don't mind it at all. And when you go thrifting, it's that thrill of the hunt that I love so much. Oh my gosh, that was too much. Okay, that's all right. So yeah, I'm just doing the front side. I'm going to get the edges as well. And once I get this coat of paint on here, I'm going to let it dry for a little bit, and then we'll actually move on to the Bumblebee. Actually, no, we'll move on to the butterflies, because those are going to be a little bit more time consuming, because I will use that X-Acto knife to kind of cut them out. And oh my gosh, they're going to be so cute. I'm really, really excited. So, you know, we've got the holiday season among us, and I really encourage you to, you know, if you don't want to craft something like I am here, buying secondhand is a great option, or even buying local. So buying from artists such as myself, I do have an Etsy shop, and there's all sorts of artists on Etsy that sell their wares that are just absolutely stunning. And then you get to support the little guys and put a big smile on somebody's face. So that's always awesome. All right, so just put a little bit more here on the edge. And I've actually got a window open next to me, so I'm just going to set it next to the window. Maybe it'll dry a little bit faster. I don't know how it is in Fishers, but the sun is shining here in Rock Hill, South Carolina, so I hope it's sunny there as well. Okay.
This is Jason with Les here. It's sunny here, and but cool.
Oh, good. Well, hey, at least it's sunny, because those Indiana gray days is not something I necessarily miss. But I definitely miss my family in Indiana for sure.
We got a few of those gray days ahead of us going into winter here. So
yeah. Oh, well, I'm sending some sunshine your way, I'll tell you that. Okay, so we have got a full layer of black paint on here. So I'm just going to set this aside. Okay, so we'll let that dry for a little bit. Okay, so then next, I've got these little butterflies. So like I said, I picked out 3 that I really liked. This is a, what is this? African Eastern swallowtail. I'm not sure what the other ones are, but okay, so if you look at these, so I cut them out and they already kind of came away from the paper. So I've just got these little pieces of cardstock here that I need to cut out. So I'm going to use an X-Acto knife, which if you don't know what an X-Acto knife is, it's just a really, really sharp, slender knife that you can cut really small pieces of paper with. So I am just going to cut around the abdomen and the head of the butterflies. And then what I'm going to do from there is glue it onto my tile. You could always also cut these out with scissors, but X-Acto knives just give you such a clean, accurate cut. So that's why I like to use those. Oh, looks so good already. And then you will see right there at the top, you should be able to see the little feelers or antennas. I'm actually going to cut those off because they're so thin. It doesn't make any sense to try to cut around them. But once I glue the butterflies to the tile, I will actually just take a Sharpie and draw my own. You do have to be so careful because since this is it's heavier than regular paper, but still it is very, very fragile. Ah, look, okay, so there's the first butterfly. Ooh, we've got black paint everywhere. Okay. And this is just a fun activity to do, you know, if you're not giving it as a gift or something like that. It's just something fun to do, just to be a little creative, you know, trying just something around the house, look at it a little bit different and say, you know, how can I use this in a different way? My gosh, these are so cute. And what's cool is the whole strip of this border has like 10 different butterflies. So I can make so many different pieces. I could do individuals. For this piece, I'm actually going to do 3. So many different things you can do. Oh, okay. So there's that one. So then next, I'm going to take my tile, and I already made sure that it was nice and clean. If you do work with tiles, this is a glazed tile, of course. In the past, I've used rubbing alcohol to get things off. Soap and water does just fine. So what I'm going to do is kind of arrange my butterflies in some fashion. You can kind of see that. And let's see. And I'm not going to put anything else on this tile. I'm just going to let the butterflies show off their beauty as they are. So there's going to be a couple of, you know, blank spots and such on the tile, but that is just fine. Otherwise, sometimes that would have bugged me, but I think these are just so pretty. I'm not sure how I want to arrange them quite yet. So, okay, it's just something like that. So the next, I'm going to glue them down. However, I'm not going to glue the entire butterfly. I'm just going to glue down the center so that I can utilize how it's already bent. So it's going to be like a 3D piece, which, oh, it's just so cool. So I am using a clear craft glue. It's E6000. I use this for practically everything, and it's strong enough to keep the tile to the wood. So I really, really like that as well. But it comes out fast. So since I'm gluing down such a small piece, let's see, I'm going to get another brush here. Okay, so I take some of the glue. And this doesn't dry instantly. However, it does keep it in place, makes it a little malleable. So that's another reason why I like it. So like I said, here, I'll get a little bit closer. I am just going to put the glue here right in the center, all the way down. All right, paste that down. And what's cool about this, because it is paper, and the wings are going to be able to come out, say I have a craft show, or you're making something like this and you're going to package it for a friend, it will lay flat when you package it. And then whenever it's going to go up on display, they can just kind of bend the wings in a little bit, and they'll have this adorable little 3D piece. Other paper products that I like to use secondhand are greeting cards. Those are so good, especially if you can find vintage ones. The art on vintage greeting cards is just gorgeous. So I will actually take those and mount those directly to a piece of wood, because they can just kind of stand on their own because they're just so pretty. I had an aunt of mine one time gift me an entire bag of greeting cards that she had had for years and years and years. And she didn't have any use for them. So I gladly took every single one of those, and am still using them to this day. Okay, so there's that one. We'll get our Eastern swallowtail glued. Now, before I show you how cute this is, I'm going to let those dry just for a bit longer. And we're going to move on to our next piece. And that glue is just pouring out. That's okay. Plenty to go around. Okay, so the next piece is going to be a Bumblebee Magnet. So I was at a thrift store one day and came across these hexagon, that's a hexagon, right? Tiles, and they came, you know, it was like backsplash, I suppose. So it had that mesh stuff behind it. So I just ripped these off the mesh. And now I have these little individual tiles. And then these little bumblebees, my mother gifted me these, and they were actually pins, like little brooch pins, if you will. But I just took some pliers and ripped off the pin part. And now they're flat for the most part. And they're so cute. And they're like little, oh gosh, I don't know what stone that would be. Peridot, I think is what it's called. But they're so cute. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna glue the bees to the tiles. And then I have a little phrase, be mindful, of course, be spelled B-E-E. And we're gonna put that on there as well. So I have a Cricut machine. And if you don't know what that is, it's a machine that you can send designs to and it'll cut it out for you. So what I did was take just a scrap piece of this black vinyl, meaning it's like one big sticker. And I put my design in my computer to say, be mindful, and it cut it out for me. So this is what it looks like right now, just a little piece. And what I have to do is it's called weeding. And weeding is, so you have your design, it's cut out, but you can't see it yet. This just looks like just a black sticker. What I had to do is weed it. So I remove the negative parts, which with vinyl can be a little tricky because, so I have to take out like the centers of the E's and the B's, or the B. And if you're not careful, those little pieces then can stick to the rest of it and it can kind of get a little messed up. So you have to really be patient. Of course, if you have good handwriting, you can just paint or do like a Sharpie like we're going to do later, and you can just write the words on there. But I don't have the best of handwriting. Plus, I like to choose the font and everything. So but this should not be too difficult. So I'm just kind of peeling off the background. You always have to be, oh my goodness, you have to be so patient because it wants to pull up the letters, especially if you're using a very thin, fine font. So just take your time. And some people actually, when they use vinyl like this, they will remove the letters and then keep the background. And they take that entire piece and lay it on something. And then they'll paint over that, remove the vinyl, and then the words are left on whatever your piece is. That's kind of hard to explain. The eye of mindful just wants to keep popping up. Another neat thing about working with secondhand items is that whatever you make can be so unique. Like the Bumblebee pins that I have. I only have 4 of them. So I'm going to make 4 of these magnets, and that's all I'll have. So just the opportunity to make something that's really one of a kind is always there. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, I'm gonna fix this just a little bit, and then I will. Oh my gosh! Jumped. So for this, I used like a little, oh, it's like a typewriter font. That seems to be my go-to anymore. Thank you for being patient with me as I'm being patient with this. Like I said, it sometimes it likes to stick to itself, and most of the time you can pull it off. Ah, you did. Okay. All right, time for the big reveal here in 2 seconds. Okay. It's crazy how long that takes. Okay, so there is that. So it went from one black piece to saying be mindful. So from here though, so these are little individual stickers at this point, but I want to make sure that they all stay where they're at. I don't want to peel them off and stick them on individually. So what you do from here is you take masking tape, and I typically just use a regular roll of masking tape. They do sell masking tape that's like this big if you do really big pieces, but this always works just fine for me. Sometimes it's actually a little too strong. So what I'm going to do is place the masking tape on here. And it looks like I'm probably gonna have to use a couple pieces. There's one. Two. Okay, so then I'm just pressing down, because what's happening is those letters are now going to stick to the masking tape. It's going to pull it off of the backing. Then let's see. I kind of figured out where I wanted this to go already on my tile. Okay, so here it is masked. What I'm going to do, if I peel the backing off, now those letters are stuck to this masking tape. So then I take the masking tape, and I'll go into my tile and place it where I want it. I'm going to place the bumblebee there so I know where that's going to be at. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. I get so excited. Okay. So I've got that on there. So again, I want to press down because now I want to transfer those letters from the masking tape onto the tile. So you just want to give it a good amount of pressure, make sure that everything is well stuck. Now this next step, when I go to take the masking tape off, I like to keep my X-Acto knife nearby because some of the letters might try to stick to the masking tape. So you just stick your knife in there and kind of pull it away. It looks like these are coming off really well, so I'll show you a little close up. And again, patience is the name of the game. Yay! Okay, cool. Be mindful. Oh, love it. Okay, so next we will put, you know what? Let's put the magnet on the back, because otherwise when we go to glue the magnet, it'll be a little unstable once we have the bee on there. So I'll just flip this over, and I have, again, I think I must have thrifted these because I just happen to have only 4 of these, which is so cool because I only have 4 bumblebees. So they're just some heavy duty magnets. And I'm going to use my same glue here because I know that this is strong and will not disappoint. Okay. I will just, well, let's see, stick this right to the center. And this will take a while to glue all the way down. So I wouldn't recommend, putting this directly on your fridge right away. But it is going to be stuck there well enough for me to continue to work with it. So we've got our magnet on. I'll flip it around. We'll add our bumblebee. So I will add glue to the back. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. I can't. Okay. Now I can see a little bit of glue. Oh gosh, I can see it everywhere. I am going to take, let's see, can I take this? Just kind of like scoop out some of the glue just so it's not obvious. And then once it dries, I actually could probably go in there with the X-Acto knife and kind of cut it away, if that makes sense. Cute. Okay, there we go. So this one's actually finished apart from it needing to dry, but this is the finished product. And so we've just got the magnet on the back. So it will come away from the fridge a little bit, but that's nice because then you can get your hands underneath it to actually remove it. Oh my gosh, it's sliding. I'm gonna quit messing with this one. Okay, so I'm gonna set that to the side. Let's check to see how our butterflies are doing. How are we doing on time, actually? Oh, just fine. Okay, so here are our butterflies. And so, like I said, you can lift up the paper so that they look like they're flying off the tile. Oh, they're so cute. Let's see. There, so that's so fun. So next, I think I want to add the little, the antenna. So I've got a ultra fine point Sharpie here. And I did test to make sure that the Sharpie will work on this tile, because that's something that I get myself in trouble with sometimes, is if I don't test something first, I just get so in the moment and always want to just get it done. But then that means sometimes you can ruin your pieces and it's not fun at all. And I speak from experience. So I'm just going to draw on these little feelers. Antenna. I'm not really sure what they're actually called, to be honest. So I'm just looking at these other ones, see what they look like. And ooh, I'm kind of nervous. I would think that I'd be able to take this off with something. I don't know, rubbing alcohol. That's another thing. You know what? Now that I say this, I kind of want to make these cute. I mean, they're already cute. But growing up, I always used to draw feelers like, little curlies. I don't know. Maybe not. Oh, so cute. That one got kind of weird. That's okay. As Bob Ross always said, never make mistakes, just happy accidents. Cute, 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 cute. And I definitely want to make sure I don't smudge it at all. Nice. Ooh. Okay, so there's little butterflies with their little feelers on there. So cute. Okay, so now I'm gonna check up on our wood over here that's been drying in the window. Oh, and it's completely dry. That is crazy. Another good thing about acrylic paint is it dries very fast. So before I put the tile on, I'm actually going to flip it around and add my hardware. I always like to do the hardware first, much like we did the magnet, just because once you get your main piece on after a bit, I just hate to flip it over and then have to put so much pressure on the wood. I just don't want to mess anything up. So, and of course my hardware, I don't go to the store and buy. I actually use pop tabs. So this is a cute little blue one. I guess I take that back. So I did have to get these screws from the hardware store, but I do shop local. I do that. So I got these little itty bitty screws from my local hardware store. And I could glue this pop tab on the back of this, and it probably would be completely fine as this glue is very strong. But because I know the tile is going to be pretty heavy and this wood is pretty thick, I can use a screw to put the hardware on, just to make sure that it's not going to fall off the wall or anything. So what I always do when I have my pop tabs is I take some needle nose pliers and I just bend it forward ever so slightly. That way, there's a little bit of an angle so that when you go to put it on the wall, it's easier to catch on the nail or whatever you have in the wall. So there's that. I do want to measure and find the center of this piece. Otherwise, it'll be all wonky on the wall and we don't want that. So this is 8 inches wide. So I want to put it at 4 inches. Here we go. And I actually don't typically pre-drill or anything. I'm actually going to put the nail, or excuse me, the screw. I've been calling it a nail this whole time. A screw right through the bottom of the pop tab. And I have never had any issues doing that. Kind of just skipping a step. But so I'll place that right on there. Give quite a bit of pressure. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. And it's always best to hold on to it too, so it doesn't start spinning, which it probably still will spin, but we'll deal with it. Oh, not bad. Okay. Oh, another very important step when you do something like that is, and again, I speak from experience, always make sure that your screw isn't longer than the thickness of your board, because obviously it'll go all the way through. And I have made that mistake right at the end of a project. It ruins it entirely. But yeah, so that is in there perfectly. Wow, that doesn't look centered, but I measured it. It is. So there's that. And so you can kind of see how it is angled out a little bit so that it can sit on the nail on the wall. So that's done. Oh, something I always like to do. So this is just personally because I do have an Etsy shop and such. I always like to add my logo to the back of my pieces. Just that way. So if someone purchases from me years down the road, they can look at the back and say, oh, I got that from Walking Through Flowers. So I like to add that. I probably won't be able to put it on my other piece. Yeah, I will. Let's see, where are my other stickers? No, I can't. Stickers are too big. That's okay. moving on. So now we want to put the tile on the front side. In order to do that, set this down gently. Like I said, we're not actually going to damage the front any because those will just go flat. And we're going to add some glue to the back. When I'm gluing down tiles, I like to put like a big X and then just kind of some squiggles. And honestly, I do that just because I think I saw it on this old house and assume that that's just how it's done. Again, they probably use a different glue, but okay. So glue this down. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball the center. And then it's always important when you're gluing something like this down, along with the X, you want to just give it a little shimmy. Again, I'm not really sure why. That's what I've heard. Probably just to kind of, I don't know, work the glue into each piece. All right. I don't want this to slide down while it's drying, but I will show you what it looks like. So that's the finished piece. It's very cool. And I love using, not only is it multimedia, but multiple layers. Thank you. I love the dimension of different layers, different colors. It's just so fun. It gives more dimension to your pieces. And they're just so fun. And the gratification you get when you create something, especially if you're making it for someone else, it's just, it's so gratifying. Oh, these are so cute. Okay, so like I said, we've got our butterfly piece and our Be Mindful magnet. And these will be on my shop. Probably here in the next month. Not sure if they'll be on before Christmas, but you can always keep an eye out on my shop. Again, my Etsy shop is, so the name of my business is Walking Through Flowers. However, Etsy only allows 20 characters for your name. So you have to type in Walkin' Through Flowers. So you just remove the G from walking. So it's walkinthroughflowers.etsy.com. And again, it's linked in the website that you got this link. I'm also on Instagram and, oh, thank you, Les. Yep, so it's actually in the chat if you want to check that out. I also have an Instagram and Facebook that I have lots of shop updates on. And then I also have a YouTube channel. And on my YouTube channel, I do very similar to this, but it's, if you can imagine it being a little more chaotic, it is on my YouTube channel. But it's fun. Yeah, so I do a lot of upcycling DIY projects. I actually call it dysfunctional DIY, as you can imagine why. So yeah, you can always check those out. And right now I have a sale going on, 15% off my entire shop. And then I always actually have free shipping after $35, but I do have necklaces and magnets and stickers on my site that are free shipping all the time. So yeah, and I actually want to show you a couple other pieces that I do have in my shop that are very similar to this with the different layers and using recycled materials. So this is another one. This, it was actually a series. I think there's only maybe 3 more on my website right now. And this is actually an old vintage greeting card. I'm sure it's very familiar to some people. And so, yeah, it's a vintage playing card. And whenever I do something like this, and there is an artist that originally did it, because obviously I did not paint this, I don't have that kind of skill. I always put on the back of the piece who it's by. So, and again, I've got the pop tab on the back, and then these are carpet tacks here in the corners to keep that down. Here's another piece where I actually did draw. I think I told you I didn't know how to draw, but I could do little flowers. I actually have two that are very similar like this. So again, with the tile and the wood. And here is another piece that I've done. This, believe it or not, is a temporary tattoo. And to get that on here was another one of those lessons in patience, because that did take forever. And then again, this is cut vinyl right here, like we did for the Be Mindful piece. So yeah, and actually, let's see, I have 15 minutes. If you don't mind, let's see. Oh, we have a question here. Do you have any issues with ink or paint drying and sticking on the glazed tile? Does it smudge? Not all the time. Like I said, I'll typically test it to make sure that I am using an accurate marker or paint. I have before, actually, if you're familiar with Modge Podge, Mod Podge, I think that's what it's called. It's pretty much just watered down like Elmer's glue, white glue. I have used that to glue pieces down to a glazed tile, and it sticks. However, you could probably easily just kind of peel it off, because I actually did it earlier. It sticks on there, but it easily can come off. So yeah, I always suggest just testing first. If you have multiple tiles to work with, maybe you have like a broken one, you can test it first. That's always a really, really good idea. Let's see. I also do, so I told you I make upcycled magnets, wall art, and I do apparel. So if you notice, this flannel has, these are actually my logo flowers. And I do have several of these available on my Etsy. Lots of different flannels on my Etsy. I also do logos kind of like on the left chest. That's my left chest, and full back with different designs that I've created. I'm also a graphic artist. So all the designs on all my flannels were created by me, and then actually cut on my Cricut and then pressed by myself as well. But I'm actually transitioning from that to, I'm going to work with a company actually out of Ohio that they screen print the heat press logos onto a sheet of paper. Because if you've ever worked with a Cricut, you know that, so like you saw when I had to weed just that little sticker, and this is the waste that came from that. So for these, I had to remove all these little pieces in between, all the background, and that's waste. And it was really not setting well with me, because my business, the main part of my business is that it's very eco-conscious and reusing as much as I can and not buying new materials. So that is going to help me, that's going to help a local business, and I can work closely with them and have a nice relationship with them. And then I'm not creating a bunch of waste. The only waste that I'm going to have is the paper backing. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I could just put that in my printer. But either way, maybe I could cut those up and use those as like I could make little thank you notes out of that, or just use scrap paper to write down notes and such. So yeah, does anybody have any questions? Let's see.
This is Jason. I was wondering, what was the most difficult thing to find for upcycling? I mean, you were talked about those screws being difficult to find. Are there other things that you need a lot that you just have trouble locating?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Jason. That's a good question. So I do necklaces. So I make upcycled necklaces, and I just find necklaces and that have really neat charms on them, and I reuse the charms. Now the string is very hard to find. In fact, just recently I put off getting new string because I wanted to try to find something secondhand, but I couldn't. So what I ended up doing was I just went online and typed in cotton cord made in the USA and came across this company called, well, actually, that's not what it's called, but it's called like the Maine Thread Company. They're based out of Maine, and I was able to get a whole spool of the string that I use from a locally made company, and they actually do make it in Maine. So yeah, that's definitely something I've started doing, is if I can't find it secondhand, which trust me, I will go to lots and lots of different thrift stores to try to find exactly what I need. And I guess not being too hard on myself. So say I need something for a project, instead of saying, oh, well, I need to specifically go find black cotton cord. Instead, I'd be like, okay, well, maybe I can find some other black cord or something else. That way there's kind of a little bit of wiggle room, and kind of keeps things new and exciting. And it challenges me to look at things in a different way. Say there's something like for my magnets, for example, I found a bunch of packs of magnetic vent covers. And I said, well, okay, those are coming with me because it's magnet material. It's a vent cover, but it's also, all it is just magnet material. So yeah, just looking at things a different way, and trying to reuse things.
See, Shelly put a question in the chat. Do you have any of your flannels you can show us?
Well, sure. Here, I'll actually dismount you here and take you into the closet of all of my pieces here. So I actually have a whole closet full. So like I said, I've got designs that have the flowers on the flannels. Let's see. This one says "In Search of Wonderland." This is a cat mom. So yeah, all sorts of different ones. I also, oh, here's a "You Are My Sunshine." And once I do work with that company out of Ohio to get the logos done, I'm actually going to offer choose your own designs. So then on my Etsy, you'll be able to choose what flannel you want and then what design, because it's kind of difficult because all of these are all one of a kind. So say you like Cat Mom, but this is too small for you, then you're like, oh, okay, well, I got to pass it up. Whereas now, well, here in the future, you'll be able to say, oh, I really like this flannel, and then you can choose whatever design you want. So actually this chunk of flannels right here, ooh, we're falling off the hanger. These are actually blank as of right now. So you'll be able to go on my website and choose your own design for those. So yeah. And then I also do tie-dyes as well. I personally do not do the tie-dyeing. I find tie-dye secondhand, and then put my own graphics on the tie-dyes. So yes, thank you, Shelly. That was a good question. I'll probably just hold you guys from here. Let's see, what else can I tell you about?
I was wondering, when you're out looking around, do you always sort of have like a long shopping list of things you're looking for when you go thrifting, or are you just sort of collecting things you think might be useful and then sort of riffing on that later?
Both. Just recently, I try to have a specific thing in mind, because before this point, years ago, I would just buy things because I said, oh, well, I'll be able to do something with that eventually, which is great because now I have all these materials to work with. But it kind of got me in trouble because then I just had all this stuff cluttering. So now I try to go in with more something specific in mind. But yes, I do keep a list, and then because otherwise sometimes I'll forget what I'm even looking for. So keeping a list definitely helps me. And again, with keeping the list, I instead of looking for something specific, it's like, oh, find something for this project or this project. Yeah. Shopping secondhand is very fun. I find it very fun. I enjoy it very much. Yeah.
Do you
I
quilt
like this
as well?
halo. Do I quilt? No, I do not quilt. I do know how to sew. For example, like this is so I keep this in my office or in my studio, but then I will also take this to like craft shows with me. So I have an Etsy and then I also do craft shows. So then I'll use this as a background or like a backdrop. So this is actually a tapestry. I think I got it on the Facebook Marketplace. And then this right here is a canvas material that was actually gifted to me. And then I used an old school projector to project my logo onto the canvas. And then that's actually just black acrylic paint. And then here, we'll get up a little closer so you can see the details. I put some stitching here around the edges just to give it a little, just a little bit something extra. But yeah, so sometimes I sew, sometimes it's just, there's way too much going on. Oh, Shelly actually asked, do you have any ideas for wrapping this season that would be environmentally friendly? Yes, that is such a good question. So I actually do offer gift wrapping in my shop, and I always use brown paper and jute string, and then like a little sprig of something green like boxwood, because that dries really well. And like over here, I have, this is a roll of paper, and this came from one package. It was a Walmart order that my parents had gotten, and they packed with all this brown paper. So I went outside and I flattened it out, rolled it up, and it's great to use for gift wrapping. And then that way you can draw on it or paint on it, do stamping, and then kind of make it your own. So you can wrap with that. Brown paper bags is a great thing to use. In the past, I've used fabric. You can find pillowcases and sheets and things like that secondhand that you can wrap with. And say you do use a pillowcase, then they can use that pillowcase. It's like another little gift. And then jute string is biodegradable, so they can go toss it in the woods or something. And then using scrap paper as well. So like I said, old greeting cards, you can cut those up and make like little tags for packages. I'm trying to think of other things that I've done in the past. But yeah, and of course, boxes, all sorts of boxes. Oh, I used to work for a printing company that would print boxes and boxes and boxes of envelopes. And then we would have these envelope boxes left over. And on the outside of the box, there were just these little pictures of envelopes on the outside. And what I would do, I took all those home, well, not all of them, my goodness, there were so many. But I dismantled the box and just flipped it inside out and re-glued it. I think maybe I taped it. And then you just have a brown box. So yeah, just look at things a little bit differently. Because and if you do like the look of gift wrap, Christmas wrap and things like that, you can find that secondhand as well, and really pretty ones, because they're not ones that people are buying right now. They're not in stores right now, so it's going to be super unique. Things that you can find at the thrift store too. Did I see another thing in the chat? Let's see. Okay, so it looks like we actually have about like 4 minutes. So does anybody else have any other questions? Like I said, I'm on Etsy, walking through flowers. If you type it in the search engine, it's just walking through flowers, all one word. You can find me on there. Again, I have a 15% off sale going on through December 2nd, and free shipping on some items, or free shipping after $35. Oh, Shelly asked, are you only on Etsy? At this time, I am only on Etsy. I do local shows, like markets and things like that. which I guess really isn't relevant to you guys. But I do travel up north, back to Indiana, because that's where my family is. So I will do shows between here in South Carolina and up in Fishers, and the Fort Wayne area as well. So keep an eye out on my Facebook and my Instagram, because I always update that with different events.
And you use the same account, right? The Walking Through Flowers for Instagram.
Yep. And that does have the G. So Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram is actually Walking Through Flowers. Etsy is walk in.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jamie. It's lovely to see you again.
Yeah, you as well.
So we enjoyed having you do this with us last year. And then, some of us got to see you in person for Ferryville in Noblesville.
Oh,
and it's been
yes.
lovely to watch you do this today. We've had you streaming on YouTube and on our website. So Shelly's been able to have a front row seat, and other guests have been able to pop in and watch as well.
Awesome.
So thank you so much. I'm sure we'll be able, more virtual events in the future and more hybrid events. And we're going to get ready for Derek Tuder. And you're welcome to hang out with us if you'd like. Derek is working on painting. Hi, Derek, on metal using power tools, right? Oh, you are muted.
Hello.
Hey. All right.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
I'm good.
Awesome.
All
Well, Derek,
right,
I'm
well,
actually gonna stay by. I'm gonna turn my video off because I'm gonna clean up, but I am gonna stick around for yours because I definitely want to see how you work with this metal. It looks really cool.
Awesome. That sounds great to me. Sounds
Yeah.
great. You did a great job. Awesome.
Well, thank
Love
you.
it.
I appreciate
love
it, Derek.
I was trying to check out your camera work too, so I can learn do my cameras. How you was doing it so good.
Yeah, I'm actually on my phone right now, so that's how I'm able
Right.
to move around.
Yeah, you was flipping your phone back and forth, selfie style and stuff. I said, she's a pro. She's a pro.
I'm glad you think so, Derek.
Thank you.
I try.
Yes. So, without further ado, I'm Derek Tuder, and I am a multi-interdisciplinary artist, and I do a little bit of everything. That means multi-interdisciplinary means I wear a lot of hats. So
But yeah, but I'm
might-
gonna listen to Derek. I'm gonna clean up.
All right. Well, listen. I might be doing.
Oh my gosh, I'm not muted. I'm so sorry, Derek.
That's all right. I love it. Hey, matter of fact, talk with me. I like it. It's also good to have some, company. But listen, you guys, I've been doing art since I was like 9 years old, and that started out really wild because I just loved drawing, and then I got into painting. Loved to paint, and my mother found out that I loved painting because it was a funny story, but that she was gone to work one day, and I was like 10 or 11, and she came home, and I painted a mural on my bedroom wall without her permission. Yeah, so to her surprise, it was a blow. But then she looked at it again and said, "Hold on, that looks pretty good." She said, "All right, I like it, but don't do it no more." So what I would do was just paint over that back white paint over the same mural and paint over it. I didn't paint any more spots, but it's just that one. But anyway, so but I hope you guys know this here, my Real Steel Art Gallery where you're at right now is going to get a little loud. So be ready to adjust your volume because the tools I use are air tools and they are really loud. And so be ready. Like I said, if you were present, like my producer here, we got on our safety glasses. As always, be safe, safety first. I got on some gloves. In case because I'm dealing with steel, so it's sharp sometimes until I finish it. Once when I'm done with it, then it's going to turn out, where you can handle it. Because I do a lot of different art on steel, and I'm gonna show you around a little bit so you can just get a little idea of what I'm about to create live for you guys. So I'm excited about it because I love doing live work. I'm gonna turn this camera around so we can get it forward. Let's see how we do that. let's see. All right, let me see one time. Hold 1 second, you guys. Let me see. We're working this. There we go. There we go. Now you guys are about to see my workstation. This is my real steel art gallery. As you see, that's my sign down there. Real steel, and that's made with steel. Up here, you see some of my work, which is all either on steel or aluminum or some sort of a steel work. Now, these pieces are painted with transparent paint. You know, I'll go through this a little bit further once we get back, once I get done with one of these pieces. And so I can explain a little bit more about all this work around. You know, but this is where I'm gonna be working at right here. Let me get my setup right here. It looks good. Let me get over here. So look. So hope I look good. I'll thumbs up over it. Thumbs up. I got thumbs up from my producer, you guys. So listen, this right here is a regular stainless steel sheet. It is, you know, it's nothing fancy right now. That's my job. I'm about to make it fancy looking like some of this stuff right here. I wanted today to do a winter wonderland. So I'm going to be adding in some snow, ground effects, some mountains. I want to put a nice, beautiful sun up there. Give me some trees, you know, some maybe some evergreens, you know, don't look like them. Anyway, try to make them look like it. And put us a nice little house in here somewhere. Some, let's say, a fence. Yeah, some shrubs. All right, that's enough. I don't want to give all you know, tell you everything. I got a few little surprises in there. What I use are air tools. This right here is an angle grinder. It is really loud. So this right here is this is what to artists like you guys, some of you guys are like, this is your paintbrush in most cases for me. So this is when I put the really basic outlines of the whole piece for this. This right here is a sander, or they call it a DA. The sander is going to be like putting in some backgrounds and change up the texture of the whole piece. And it's going to lay down, this is going to lay down my snow effect. It's going to be pretty cool. This right here is a Dremel. Some people know these are like grinding or engraving tools. I just so happen to have one with the holes, so that way I can hold it like a pencil, and I can get in there when I turn it on, and you know what I'm saying? It's almost like writing, just like writing. Love it. Everyone needs one of these in my case. Then I have some other things in case we need some stuff. Then when I'm done, I'm going to get some transparent paint on this dude. And once I get the cuts in here, it's going to be like some diamond cuts. It's going to be really, really cool. I'm gonna tell you, really cool. So how we going to start out is I'm gonna try to talk a little bit, but it's because it's so loud, I'll be screaming. So just hang in there with me. So get ready to, like I said, adjust your volumes. So the air hose is loud, and I got the air compressor out on the outdoors. Got the hose ran all the way out. So when the air pressure gets low in the big tank, the tank's almost tall as me. When it gets low, it kicks on automatic to keep the pressure on, so I can keep this pressure going continuously. It's a continuous flow of air needed. So it's not like a regular air pump or air tank, because it got to continue, because this here is going to use up air the whole time where I'm producing my art. So the air compressor will kick on. So if you hear that, don't worry about it. The house thing is not it's not an earthquake, okay? So I'm going to start off with the DA, which is a vibrator. And I'm going to put down the basic sanding down some snow effect, okay? So get ready. It's going to get a little loud. This is not as loud. See, now this is spinning around and vibrating at the same time. And unfortunately, we can't stop the noise of the air. But they're going to, the compressor just kicked on. But I'm about to get started, guys. I'm hyped. And I hope you guys are too. So bear with me. We're about to lay down some snow effects, okay? Now, if you can't see it, I'll have my producer bring the camera around. And right now, let's put this down for a little snow effect. And let's make some come up in here a little bit. And make some over here a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm not gonna hear me. All right. Now, that's the snow effect that I just put down. Let me stop for a sec. Now, check this out. I'm gonna turn it around. Look at it with the light on it. Now, see, now that's changed the whole texture of the steel from the beautiful solid steel from the manufacturer to my manufacturing of the snow effect. Now, I'm gonna switch up to the grinder. Now, this little fella is very, very loud when it starts out, but it's awesome. So what we're gonna do with this right here today, starting off with, let me see. I'm gonna lay down a nice border. In other words, so if I wanna make this and put it in a frame when I'm done, I'm gonna have a border already around this dude. Really, really cool. And how I'm gonna do it is, I'm gonna go around it with these swirls, and I'm gonna do it about 3 times, 2 different directions. It's gonna make a different effect each time. So I'm gonna start down here. Hear that? Get ready, y'all. I'm gonna do it one of those times. You can adjust your volume. Ooh, it's loud. Here we go, but it's also fun. All right, that's the bottom part of the border. Check it out. See them effects? How that light reflects off of it? Really, really awesome. See that? So now that's the bottom part. Now this time I'm about to go, I'll flip it around. I'm gonna do the top half of it. Same thing. Here we go. Hold your ears. All right, now that's the top part of the board. So I could leave it like that and leave it open in on both sides. We're going to go ahead and put it all the way around. Here we go. Bear with me, guys. All right, one side and the next side is the final side. Oh man, it's beautiful already, guys. Check it out. This border on this big dog. Yeah, check it out. And the light just reflects off of it like a diamond. You know, when you look inside of a diamond, many of those guys, those jewelers, this is the kind of thing they see inside of a diamond, believe it or not. The way it shimmers and just glistens all over the diamond on the side, deep down inside. So check it out. So now, what I'm gonna do now, I'm about to go ahead on up top and we're gonna go on and put some background in there. You know, this is gonna make that depth effect what artists do, you know, send artists, painters and stuff to put the stuff in the form in the back, way back in the back. So what I'm gonna do is do some let's get the white off. It sweats, this thing is sweaty, but that's all right. We're gonna use the same thing. These right here pads, a rough pad.
A question on the chat. How long have you been doing this technique?
Hey, you know what? That's a great question. And you beat me to the punch because I was about to tell you guys, this technique was not taught to me. I had to learn it myself. I worked at a steel factory where we, manufactured steel products, big lasers and all that. Well, we were always throwing away big pieces of steel. Me being an artist, but since I was 9, I'm like, hold on, let me see if I can make my name on it first. So I did it, looked pretty good with one of these right here. And this has been 3 years ago. So 3 years ago is when I started. I was dabbling. So 3 years ago, I started with a piece, and one of these pieces in here was like one of my first pieces. This one right here. This is one of my third piece I've ever done. This Pinky, I call it Pinky, and it's got the color in there. This is one of my third pieces. That's on aluminum pipe. It just so happened to be. And when I made Pinky, I was like, okay, I'm on to something. Because I love dogs, love animals. That's why you see a lot of animals, tigers, lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my. Hey, who knows about that? Wizard of Oz. But yeah, but I've been doing it for 3 years now. Then as I started doing these, I started moving into sculptures and making crazy sculptures. I mean, and I'm learning welding. I'm in the welding now. So I put together any kind of thing with steel, So that's why I call this the real steel art gallery, So, and like Christmas, every season come around, I'm gonna come up with something. That's my real steel Christmas tree. You feel me? So and then I put designs on it. You know what's coming up next in a couple of months? Valentine's Day. Man, I mean anything. Halloween, Christmas, any holidays I do it. And another thing, before I get started, while it's quiet, I also make signage. Look at here. The names, like say, that's Pam. I gotta move around so you can see it. Because I know the light reflects on it at different points. And sometimes you will see it, sometimes you won't. But that's Pam, you know what I'm saying? That's the name that somebody, one of my neighbors, I like her a lot, so I put some surprise over it. And like I say, businesses come to me, like Tease Me Cafe, done a big sign for them. This is another thing you can do with this here. This is how you bling them out though. And also create signage like this. And that's one of the more shinier steels, stainless steel. You see? So, these things right here, all this was learned by trial and error. You know what I mean? That artists can come out. So anybody out there curious about any kind of art form, technique, mediums, and genres, just try it. Step out of your comfort zone. If you're a painter, okay, grab a pencil, start color pencil, try that. You know what I mean? And just whatever you want to do, you know what I'm saying? Just go for it. Don't hold back. One thing is it's all about having fun. Really. It's all about having fun, doing what you love to do. You're an artist, any kind of art to do. See, I'm telling you, I love it. So listen, I'm going to go ahead and throw some mountains back here, and I'm going to put a nice sunset. Like sun in there. I'm going to put the sun in the middle. Then I'm going to throw some mountains. Later, we'll put some birds and stuff. Let me go on and quit talking. Let me go on. You ready, y'all? Now, good view right there for you guys. You seeing how I'm seeing it right now. These are about to become some mountains. This is going to be the sun. Big old beautiful sun is going to be in the middle of there. So I'm about to go ahead on back in and bring it to life. Get ready. Hold your ears. All right, so what I'm about to do is change the grade of my sanding pad, grinding pad right here, to a little milder. A little bit milder, so this is not as rough. It's going to give me a different effect on the metal. So here we go. It's going to be the side of the mountain. A little smoother. This one is softer, a little milder rather, and it won't cut so deep like outline. This is not the outliner, the other one was. And I'm also putting in a little land, some land back there. So mountains are having their cutout zone. All right, can you guys see that Can y'all see that? I wish y'all give me a thumbs up if you can see the mountains starting to form. You know, you can see the mountains starting to form a little bit. Now we're gonna put up some mountain peaks. We're gonna put the peaks, make them really nice looking. That's coming later with the Dremel. Now we're going to put some nice clouds up in there. Once again, I'm gonna change the heads to a even more mild head. Now this grinding pad is even more milder. It's almost like a sandpaper, soft as a sandpaper, a really mild sandpaper that you would maybe sand down a dresser or a table or something. That's how soft this is. It won't cut too bad. But this right now, I'm going to put some clouds up in here. Let's go. White cloud, white cloud. Oh yeah. All right. So one thing about these here, they will wear down. So this one here has gotten a little bit wear and tear on it, a little bit more than I like. Change him out, get a fresh one, because once my clouds started it got a little light. Let me get it back a little nice and deep. Cloud. All right. So I brought one of those clouds in front of the mountain, and I will bring a cloud in front of the sun after I do a little bit more work to it. So, yeah, it looks pretty good. Enough clouds.
Another question.
Yes.
Does the speed of the grinder matter?
No, it does not. Well, sort of, because you want it to go as fast as possible. Now, you cannot adjust the speed of the grinder at all. Only way that the speed will adjust is if your air compressor runs low on air, or if it cuts off, lose power, and you're running out of air in the tank. That's the only time it'll get slower, it'll slow down. But other than that, you want it to just go fast. You know what I mean? You want it to go fast. So these grind into this stainless steel, because this is a pretty rough job. You know what I'm saying? Because steel is one of the hardest materials out there. So most folks know how strong steel is, and stainless steel is another one that is really, really strong. So, a good question. Yeah, good question. But you know what? When I first started my job, I asked the same question, because I didn't know. So, that's a great question. Mainly once you're curious, you want to know something about it, you might want to dabble with it. Go on in there and try it. But listen here. Next, we're going back to the really rough grade. Now, see, the grades, they got numbers. This one's a 50. That says 50 on the back. See, that's a 50 grade. I think this one's an 80. Yep. That's an 80. The lower the number, the rougher it is. I think that's another 80. It's just a red though, and then you got 120, which is a really, really soft sandpaper. So you're gonna go ahead back into rough. You got to get rough with it, y'all. We about to get rough with it. So now, check this out. You got the background laid out. If you have any more questions, toss them around there. Feel free. We can stop this. Plus, it's good to take a break with the noise. You know what I mean? But right now, we're gonna go ahead and put in. Let's go with a tree. I want to put a nice tree right here, like Bob Ross used to say, "Oh, happy tree." You know, we're gonna put a happy tree over here and over there, an old happy tree over there. You know, Bob Ross, he'd stick a tree right in the middle of a whole big old beautiful picture. You know, big giant. You know, but me, we're gonna put our trees in and leave them be. So we're going with the trees right now. Trees is kind of fun to make because you got to do these with the strokes. You got to strokes. You got to like the more strokes, the more it looks like more leaves or branches thing. So the trees, I'm gonna go ahead and put one right here, and I'm gonna let it come over the border so it looks like it's coming through. You know, just something different. I don't usually do that, but I like to try it. So here we go, you guys. Come here, going in, Lou. Uh-oh, y'all. Uh-oh. That tree is gonna be looking pretty cool in a minute. See that? It's about to turn into not a winter wonderland, but a fisher's wonderland. That's what he's gonna rename this. The fisher's wonderland. Yeah. All right, we're gonna put another little tree right here. Yeah. Let's put one more little happy tree. Courtesy of Bob Ross. Man, that's nice. That's nice. Almost look like a Christmas tree. Nice little Christmas tree. So listen, we're gonna go on this other side. Pop us in another tree. See that? All this stuff looks like sand. That is nothing but steel shavings. Stainless steel shavings. And I just want to knock that down to the ground. So one more tree on this side. And we are make this pop off right here, you guys. Here we go. All right, time to change this one. That one is getting wore down. Yes, it is. I got happy over here and I ended up making 2 trees. So just grab with me, guys. Here we go. Ooh, I love them. I love them. Check it out. Check it out. Awesome. 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 Ooh, I like them trees. I got a little depth perception in there with the one smaller tree a little bit further back. That's going to be awesome because I think I'll run a fence, a wooden fence behind that tree. So, yeah. I think it's how I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do it like that. So now that we got a couple of trees in here, we still might toss one more around in here once I get the base done. All right, so we got us about 15, 30, about 20, 15, 20 good minutes. So look at here, this is coming together, and that's how I do it. Just that simple. So now we're going to go ahead and I just got the trees.
How much design work do you do ahead of time? And hold on, I gotta get the question.
How much design I do ahead of time?
And then how do you get from idea to grinder on metal? Do you just go for it or do you just draw it out?
Right now, guys, I'm gonna tell you, honestly, it's freestyle. This is totally freestyle. There's no one drawn out, was not outlined on here. I have visions in my head, and it just, sometimes I can't sleep until I bring it out. So right now, I just do freestyle, you know. I may have an idea about what I like to do. I did look up fishers and see Winter Wonderland and Fishers, just to get an idea of some of you guys' beautiful scenery up there in Fishers. So I did look into that, and I've seen a couple of spots that look really good. So that kind of is playing a big part in my imagination right now. And it was been weeks ago when I done it, but still, it's still there. Yeah, I got some beautiful things.
And then do you find air compressor sanders are the best for metal, or would battery powered work well enough?
I would go air. Nope, I'm sorry. You know, both. Gotta be both. Because now they have created some battery powered sanders and grinders, man, that are A1. So, as a matter of fact, I just bought another sander, angle sander, and it's beautiful, awesome work. It's awesome. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go get it. Yeah, I'm gonna go get it so I can probably just show off and just use that for the first time. Like that's fine. And so I'm going to go ahead and switch up pretty soon, also to battery grinder and sanders also, just so I can travel. Don't have to carry a big tank, and it'll be a lot quieter. You know what I mean? But I like these when I'm in my own environment, though. You know what I mean? If I'm at home or my headquarters, or I like these because they get the job done faster to me. So, good question. Good question. You made me think about that because I like the battery too. You know, I like the batteries too. So any more questions? Come on with them, y'all. Shoot them out. My producer's gonna shoot them out to me. Just go for it. So we're gonna go ahead now, you guys. Let's put us a house up in this place. We're gonna throw a house in here. We're gonna throw a house. Let's go right in here. Right, the house starts. The house starts, guys.
Yes, it's 3:42. We had a question about color. Since time is winding down, do you think you'll have some time to do some color today?
Yes, that's color right now. Move fast. No. Now, let me throw a couple more little pieces in here real quick. We're gonna get some color in here, you guys. Before we run out of time.
And while you do that, another question.
Yeah.
Do you find organic shapes are harder or harder edge shapes easier to do?
Yeah, they are harder. And those are easy. To make it simple, Dan said, yes, you are right. You must have been watching me because sometimes it struggles to get these lines straight and to get everything, lined up right and the good outlines. That's why you got your detail tools, and things like that. So let me see. We're going to go ahead and throw some color in here. These are transparent paints, and the color is really kind of simple and it's kind of fun. Really fun. So, yes.
You said you use transparent paints.
Yes. Transparent paint is the best way to go because it allows your colors to go in between the grind cuts. So that way you can still see the shimmer and the sparkle from the colors and from the steel. It's like the diamond cuts, you know what I mean? So here we go. Check this out. These right here are model colors. You can water them down. What I like to do also is use a towel once I want to make it lighter or darker. So see what I'm saying? I hit it. Uh-oh, that's the time. So I hit it and I wipe it. Hit it and I wipe it.
So why do you wipe it?
You wipe it because you don't want to cover up all of the shimmer, in the steel. Because the steel, that's one thing that makes the image itself is the cuts. This right here, if you don't either water it down or wipe it off some, it'll cover up your shine. See what I'm saying? It'll cover up your shine. So you still got your shine coming through, So I like to wipe it off because I can control how deep or dark green I want it or whatever color that I'm going for. Now see, I won't make all the trees just light. I will make some trees a little darker. Okay. So let me see. This one here will be a little lighter. Okay, for the sake of time, like I said, I'm going to move a little fast so we can get as much done as we can for more questions, and then I can still show you a little bit around in the room. So look here, I'm going to switch up this, show you how I would have done do the mountains. I would grab me some brown, very light brown, and mix it with a little tan. Yeah, oh yeah. I'm gonna splash water. I'm taking gloves off now since I'm not doing anything dangerous. Put a little water in there. That. Now, so this right here bring me a nice little color from the mountains. So let me see. I'm gonna just go up in here. And I gotta put some yellow on that sun, because when that sun get that yellow on it, that'll make the whole scene almost just come to life. And like I said, we got some white, and we put the white on the mountain peaks. So sometimes you got to put a little bit more color in there so it'll come out a little darker. See, one thing about it is your color won't take over. Once the light hit it in a certain way, that'll make the colors come out. Got some of this yellow, so you guys can see that. All right, let me put my yellow in. Make a little beautiful little sunset, little sun. All right, you guys, I really had fun today. You know, I really did. You made my day, you made my whole Thanksgiving weekend. And I'm glad to hang out with you guys today. Okay. See, one thing about this, you could always put more water on this and lighten it up, or take it all the way off. You can take the color all the way off. This is not permanent paint, and it's not going to ever be permanent on steel until I'm done and I spray paint some clear coating on. When I put a clear coat on this, then it's going to be a fine line. You know.
So the paint only really sticks in the grooves of the grinder?
Yes, yes. Well, it'll stick on the regular steel, but like I said, if you wipe with water, it will come off. And that's when you, like I said, once I'm done with a piece, I will seal it. I will seal it. So, and you know what? I'll tell you guys, I'm glad I used a smaller piece of steel because my initial go-to piece was twice this size. It was twice this size. And I said, wait a minute, let me just shoot my first piece like this first. So you can see how the sun's making it come to life a lot better. And like I say, then one thing we would do also is put all kinds of colors and effects in here with the house, you know what I mean? Like we want to paint the house brown. We'll go in there. So I know we're almost out of time, guys. So if you got any more questions, please send them. And I will definitely finish this piece and send this piece, the completed piece, back to you guys so y'all can see what it looked like. You can also see a lot of more of my steel work on Real Steel Art Gallery on Instagram. And on my website, you know, I think they got it posted on the on their site here. And see the most work of mine, you can go to Derek Tuder on Instagram, and you can see some cool videos that I've produced a lot of art with, and at different locations. You'll see some of the cool things I did with the first mini Van Gogh mobile art gallery. Yes, I got an art gallery. You can see that on Instagram too. It's Mini Van Gogh Mobile Art Gallery, all one word, you know. So, you know, definitely check it out when y'all get a chance. I wanted to thank, all you guys and Fisher's Arts Council. Man, you guys are awesome for having me. You know, I do love doing any kind of art. You know, if you'd like to see me do another form with paintings, like also in my headquarters here, I do have a whole art gallery with regular art, also with the steel. You know, I was hoping I had enough time to show you guys around, to show you guys all that. But next time, I will see you guys in a couple of in the 5th, I believe, of December. or your next coming up, your your Wonderland, I will be there. I will be there, loving it, loving every minute of it. You know. See, now I got the little paint kind of watered down a little bit. See, then I will go and outline that with a darker brown to separate the mountains, which is really, really cool. You know, and we're gonna make a little darker tree over here because it's, there we go. Pump. Air compressor didn't cut off, which is a great thing because now you can hear me a little better. Yeah. The reason why the air compressor just cut off is because I am not using the air compressors right now because I'm not using the air tools. So cut off because it's full, which is great, So now you guys see how I make these real steel paintings. You know, I love this work, man. This right here is what I wake up in the morning, every morning for, to try to create more and more of these pieces, man. I love it. And that one there, I'm gonna leave that one a little darker green, just to make it stand out from the rest, because it's closer, you know. And then I would lay down the white in here, man. The white gonna make it really look great. Let's see, we're gonna go with a yellow brick road, like on Wizard of Oz. We'll make the steps. Yeah, why not? So if any more questions, guys, send them in to me, please. Like I said, you can also follow me on Instagram, Derek Tuder. That's where you can see the most of my work. You know, on this sidewalk, I can leave that a little darker, just because I can, and it's gonna look kind of cool. Just don't have a lot of shavings in it, cuts.
I am loving your trees, Derek. These are amazing.
Thank you. I do enjoy doing the trees. The trees are one of the things that I do because it's so fun when I am just going crazy with the strokes, you know, with the grinder. And the same way when I do the strokes with the trees, as you can see, it's the same premise as when I do these strokes with the hair on animals, and also the birds. When I do birds, you know what I'm saying? They go a bird there, you see all the strokes in there. Animals, you can see all the the little strokes. They're so cool, you know. So cool. There's a scene up there, you know. But anyway, you got, hey, I really, really love this. You know, this piece is going to be off the chain when it's done, you know. And most of the time, these right here, some people don't even put them in frames. They will leave them like this and just set them on their mantle. I love it. I don't care where they put it, as long as they just have it where somebody can see it and enjoy it. You know, like I said, I've been doing art for a long time, and this steel artwork is where my heart is really going to the most. You know, I do like what I do now. Also, I do store window paintings live. So I'll be down in Circle Center Mall somewhere. You walk down the mall, you're walking down the street, see a store. I may be in a window painting 8-foot painting, 8x8-foot painting, you know, anything, you know, but hey, anything's possible. I'm telling you guys, if you can dream it, you can bring it. That's one of my mottos, you know, if you can dream it, I'll bring it. But I do commission work like these, like I said, portraits. It's some pieces around that are really crazy cool. I'm working on some portraits now. This right here, I got so many pieces that I want to finish, but I have not enough time, you know, to where they really detailed, where I get in there with the grinder first, and then I'll pull up with the Dremel, detail all this detail, you know, the little stuff. So this is not as time consuming as you might think, because like I say, once you either got it outlined or you got a blueprint or a template of something, or your mind is so sharp that you know what you want to do, it won't take long. Just like this piece right here, off the top of my head. And I mean, I'm so sorry I didn't get the white in there, because once I put the white down in here and the white on the peaks and put the white on the clouds, throw some birds in there, man, this is going to be crazy. I mean, crazy. Then also you can paint the borders if you like. The borders can be painted. Personally, me, I like to leave my borders with the shimmer and awesome little shadings of the steel in there. Kind of look diamond, to me. That's my queen. I like the
Yeah, you were saying, you don't always choose to frame them, but it looks like you're so decorative on the edge anyways. I wouldn't want to frame over that.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. But like I say, the ones that are in frames, they don't have a border already, so. But I do thank you guys for having me. I'm telling you. And anytime you guys want me to do this, paint, a painting, I mean, anything, I'm willing and great and ready. So, if you got any more questions, send them on in to me. I'd love to hear the questions, I can take off the safety glasses now. Is everything safe?
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Derek. We really enjoyed watching this today. I think we've answered all the questions so far. If any others come in, like we get comments on the YouTube or anything, we will definitely let you know. And we're going to see you next week on Saturday at 4:00 Eastern here again. You'll be on Zoom, which will push into the YouTube stream and also on our website.
All right. Well, send me out the links so I can go on and share it with all the people that follows me, so they can start following Fisher's Arts Council also.
We do. Well, thank you so much, Derek. You have an awesome day. Thanks to those who are viewing and joining us in all the various places that we are today. You have a great day, Derek.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. You have happy holidays.
Bye, everybody.